Clock number 1 is already ticking inside you right now, and most people won't hear it until it's too late. It's called your epigenetic clock. This isn't about your birth certificate age. This is about the chemical tag sitting on your DNA. Tiny switches that control which of the genes are turned on and which are silently shut down. This modifies gene expression without altering the underlying DNA sequence. And here is the kicker. If this clock runs fast, you can be biologically 70 even if the calendar says you are only 55. Now before we get to the other two clocks, and trust me, the third one will hit you like a thunderbolt. Let's pause on this first one, because there is something shocking here. Scientists have found that even identical twins born with the same DNA can age at completely different speeds. Why? Because their epigenetic tags respond to stress, toxins, sleep, food, and even loneliness. So here is the part no one tells you. One of the biggest accelerators of this clock isn't junk food or smoking. It's chronic psychological stress. Your body literally writes stress onto your DNA. That's why two people can eat the same diet, but one develops wrinkles, disease, and frailty decades earlier. So what slows it? Not some fancy medication or magic pill, but three evidence-backed habits. First, deep restorative sleep. Second, Mediterranean-style diet rich in polyphenols. And third, short intense bouts of exercise like HIIT, that is high intensity interval training. Each of these has been proven to reprogram your epigenetic tags, literally rewriting how fast your body ages. And here is a shocking secret. Scientists can now measure this clock with a simple blood test, and companies are already selling them quietly. And why you should care about this? Because if you catch a fast-moving epigenetic clock early, you can start taking action now and slam the brakes. Now let's talk about clock number 2, because it's ticking right now inside your cells. Your second silent clock is your mitochondrial clock. These are the tiny power plants inside each of your cells. Without them, you wouldn't have the energy to lift your phone, let alone fight disease. But mitochondria are fragile. Every time they make energy, they leak tiny sparks of damage. And over time, these sparks make the mitochondria weak and inefficient at their function. Here is the part most people don't know. By your mid-40s, your mitochondria are already producing 30% less energy. That's why people complain, I just don't feel like I used to. It's not in your head, it's in your cells. And there is one more shocking, sinister twist. As damaged mitochondria pile up, they send distress signals that accelerate inflammation throughout your body. This is the hidden engine behind inflammation, the slow burn that fuels heart disease, Alzheimer's, and even cancer. So how do you slow this clock? Researchers have found that one of the most powerful ways is through mitochondrial renewal. Think of it as recycling your old batteries. And the trigger for this recycling is surprisingly simple: intermittent fasting. When you give your cells a break from constant food, they clean out old mitochondria and build new ones. Add to that, cold exposure. Yes, something as simple as finishing your shower with 30 seconds of cold water has been shown to boost mitochondrial density. You don't have to start taking cold showers if you are not used to, but start with taking 30 to 60 seconds of cold water on your body right after your bath. And here is something you won't hear on most health channels. The supplement CoQ10 doesn't just support energy, it directly stabilizes mitochondria against that oxidative spark damage. So next time you visit your doctor, ask them about this supplement. Now we have covered your DNA clock and your energy clock. But the third one is the scariest of all, because it ticks silently in your blood, and by the time you feel its effects, it's already decades ahead. Clock number 3 is called your inflammatory clock. Doctors are only beginning to talk about this, but scientists know it's one of the most accurate predictors of how long you will actually live. Why? Because low-grade chronic inflammation is like a rust coating your entire body. It stiffens arteries, corrodes brain tissues, and weakens your immune defenses. And here is the chilling truth that will wake you up. You can have zero symptoms while this silent fire is raging. No pain, no fever, nothing. Then suddenly, heart attack, stroke, memory decline. That's why researchers now say inflammation is the final common pathway of almost every age-related disease. So how do you fight an invisible fire? The answer isn't a single food or pill. It's a complete environment shift. One of the strongest levers is gut health. About 70% of your immune system lives in your gut. And when your microbiome is imbalanced, it pours gasoline on your inflammatory clock. That's why people who eat diverse plant fibers like beans, vegetables, fermented foods consistently taste younger on this clock. Let me tell you one powerful and lesser known fact about mitochondrial clock. Even just 10 minutes of daily mindfulness or breath work measurably lowers inflammation markers like CRP in the blood. And unlike diets that people quit after 2 weeks, this one sticks because it reshapes how your nervous system reacts to stress. So now you have made the 3 silent aging clocks. Your epigenetic clock rewriting your DNA every single day. Your mitochondrial clock slowly draining your energy reserves. And your inflammatory clock, the silent rust corroding you from within. Each one is ticking right now. But here is the hope. These clocks don't just move forward. With the right habits like stress reduction, fasting, cold exposure, gut-friendly foods, and deep sleep, you can slow them down. Some studies even show reversal. Each one is ticking right now. So drop in the comments which of these 3 clocks do you think is moving fastest in your body right now. Because the truth is, the moment you identify it is the moment you start taking years back. So promise me and to yourself to start doing these simple actionable habits from today because they will add years to your life. This is the longevity journey and I will see you in the next one.